So it's been 1 year since I came out. Well, it will be when I upload this. I work during the week, so I have to film this in advance. It's actually 5:18 in the morning. I can't sleep. So I thought I'd make this video for everyone. People have been asking for a coming out video from me for a long time, so here it is. So yeah, as a background, I've always sort of been interested in guys, um, as far back as I can remember. It took me a really long time to accept myself. Um, I would definitely say I struggled with it for a long time. I tried to deny who I was, repress feelings. So I was dating a girl for about a year and a half, and things were pretty serious. And I tried to make it work for so long, but eventually I realized that it wasn't going to. So finally, 1 year ago, I woke up and I decided it was time. And it was honestly the scariest thing I think I've ever gone through. And it's silly. It's such a silly thing to be scared of. But, I mean, I was so terrified. I had a long conversation with my girlfriend. And we broke up. I came out. She had to come and clear her things from my room. I was a bawling, crying mess in the bathroom. I didn't want to be seen by anyone. It was tough. It was tough to not only break up with the girl you've been dating for a year and a half, but also come out and come to terms with it. And the biggest thing for me was realizing that once the cat was out of the bag, I couldn't take it back. You know, you can't go back from that. It's out there now, and that's the way it is. And I was so afraid of what the future was going to bring. First thing I did was call my mom. I told her that me and my girlfriend broke up, and she was sympathetic. She was like, "Oh no, why? What happened?" And I couldn't bring myself to tell her I'm gay. I just kind of said something like, I'm more into my own gender, or something stupid like that. But it got the point across. First thing she said was like that she could tell, and that got to me. I was like, you know, what's giving it off? I guess mothers always know, but I always thought that I kept it so secretive and so under wraps. So for her to just be like, yeah, I could kind of tell. I was like, damn, you know. My friends were all accepting. Some of them offered to hang out, so I wasn't alone because they understood it. It's a tough thing to do. A few of my friends didn't believe me. Yeah. So it's been a year, and the last year has been awesome. I've been happier than I've ever been. There's been ups and downs, but life in general has been pretty awesome. I found that it was so much better. It was so much better. My first video ever. So don't judge. So there's a thing called the Kinsey scale. And that scale, a 0 means that you are 100% heterosexual. And a 6 means that you are 100% homosexual. So a perfectly bisexual person with no preference at all toward either gender would be a 3. So I'd probably say that I'm like a 4.5, maybe 5. Here's the thing. I hate labels on things, especially on myself. Like, I don't like to categorize myself as anything. So, am I bisexual? Am I gay? In my mind, it doesn't really matter what I call it. I'm just happy now. I mean, I don't ever see myself really being with a woman ever again. So in that sense, I guess I just go around saying I'm gay, but technically I guess I'd be bi, but who cares really, right? Yeah, I'm still pretty shy about it. Um, I'm still pretty, like, off about the whole label thing. I tend to not tell people. So after so I sort of told my mom, and then I called my aunt later that night. And she was the only other family member I really directly told. So she probably feels pretty special. I know she felt pretty special that I called her and I told her and we talked about it for a few minutes. Otherwise, I mean, my mom was like, how do we go about telling your grandparents and your extended family? And in my mind, the way I feel like I'm the exact same person that I was before and am now and will continue to be. So in my mind, who I'm attracted to and who I decide I want to go to, cuddle up with in bed every night, what gender they are is none of anyone's business, nor does it make any difference. Gay relationships are exactly the same as straight relationships. They have the same problems, they have the same good times, the same love. It's all the same. It's just two guys or two women. So, I saw no need to tell people. But that's my personality. I just don't like to tell people anything. Anything that goes on in my head, I keep things to myself. But yeah, so if I had any advice to anyone else, who's struggling with it, I've been there, and it's tough. Like, I know that it seems hard. I was lucky enough to grow up in a fairly liberal town with supportive family and parents. So, for me, it was never a question of feeling like I was going to get rejected. I know people who have come out to their parents, and their parents have walked out on them, and they haven't spoken to them since. And that could be extremely hard. I know people who their friends would disown them. And that's got to be really tough. But the thing is, be yourself. You know who you are. It might seem frightening, it might seem terrifying. You don't want to lose people, but, friendships come and go. Real friends support you no matter what. Be yourself. And, I think things will work out. It will get better. Obviously, there's situations where, if you're a minor and you're living with your parents and your parents are extremely conservative, you might be better off waiting. College is a great time because you suddenly have complete freedom. You are away from your family, you're away from your parents, you're in a completely new environment with new people who you've never met before, and none of them have ever met any of them. So everything's new. College is honestly a great time. If you're young and you're worried about when to come out, if the environment doesn't seem right in high school, it might be best to just bite the bullet and hold on a few more years and wait for college. If you're not going to college, those years, late teens, early 20s, and just remember that there are tons of people out there who support you. We've all been through this. You're not alone. So yeah, that's my coming out story. If you like this, maybe I'll keep making some more videos. Dating a YouTuber who always has the camera in his face, it rubs off over time. That's all I got.